Opinion: what Christie Sides' exit means for the Indiana Fever's future. With WNBA legends like Cheryl Miller on the radar and Caitlin Clark's potential looming, the Fever's next move could define the franchise. The news heard around the world, or at least around Iowa and Caitlin Clark superfans. At 10 a.m. on October 27, the Indiana Fever took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to announce the franchise was parting ways with head coach Christie Sides. An hour later, Sides tweeted, "Leave it better than you found it." Peace sign emoji. A little weird, no? The decision to let Sides go wasn't exactly shocking. Despite drafting the #1 pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Fever stumbled through the first half of the season, delivering lackluster and disjointed performances. Sure, they made the playoffs, but so did 8 other teams. It's not a monumental feat when you only have 12 teams in the league, unless you're the Chicago Sky. The Fever now join the ranks of the Atlanta Dream and Las Vegas Aces, opting for a rebuild despite postseason success. If a 2-time champion general manager isn't safe, why would a no-time champion coach like Christie Sides be? While the Fever hasn't yet named a new coach, the internet has plenty of ideas. The first reply to the Fever's post about Sides' exit? Cheryl Miller, come on down. Miller would be a dream pick. Her ties to Indiana run deep. As Reggie Miller's older sister, she's practically Indiana basketball royalty by association alone. But Cheryl Miller isn't just Reggie's sister, far from it. She's a legend in her own right. Arguably the greatest women's basketball player to ever grace the courts, her career ended more than a decade before the WNBA even existed, making it hard to fully capture her greatness. Case in point, she dropped 105 points in a single high school game. Miller's intensity and basketball IQ would make her the perfect mentor for a rising star like Clark. Both are fierce competitors with a knack for lighting up the scoreboard, making Miller uniquely equipped to coach a player of Clark's caliber. With Miller's deep knowledge of the game and her experience as a trailblazer, she could help mold Clark into an even more complete player, teaching her not just how to dominate but how to lead and leave a lasting legacy. Her impact is evident not just on the court, but also through the way she's spoken about by those who know her best. While high praise from family is often expected, Reggie Miller's words offer unique insight into his sister's unparalleled greatness. What made Cheryl great was she was as tough as nails. And she was a great leader. She was a lot like, when you watched The Last Dance, and you watched MJ, his personality, how he motivated his guys, and a lot of the times they didn't like that, his teammates. Cheryl was a lot like that, Miller said. For the Fever, hiring someone who knows what it takes to be a game-changing force would be invaluable as they aim to establish a winning culture. I'd be remiss not to mention Miller's brief hiatus from coaching after stepping away from the Phoenix Mercury in 2000 due to fatigue. And that was coming off a trip to the WNBA Finals. Since then, she's taken on coaching roles at Langston University and California State Los Angeles in 2014 and 2016, respectively. While a return to the WNBA would be a long shot, her connection to Clark, whom she's publicly praised, makes her an intriguing candidate. Miller's admiration for Clark is evident in her own words. "I hugged her and said, 'I'm so proud of you. Savor this, use this as a formula, but keep being you. No matter what, keep being you.'" More than that, Clark needs someone who's going to be honest with her. Sides was meant for an assistant head coach position, an eternal optimist, ready and willing to cheer everyone on at any given money. She wasn't equipped to make the tough calls the game demands. Miller's been ready since high school. Reggie Miller highlighted that same mentality. She expected excellence every time you step on the floor. She expected everyone to play at a high level every single night, and she expected to win all the time. Another name that deserves serious consideration is Stephanie White. An Indiana native, White led Purdue to an NCAA championship in 1999 as a player and later coached the Fever to the WNBA Finals in 2015. Her ties to the state and her proven ability to take a team deep into the postseason make her a natural fit for a return to Indiana. White's coaching career didn't stop there. After leaving the Fever, she transitioned to the college game, becoming the head coach at Vanderbilt University. While her tenure with the Commodores was challenging, White's experience coaching at both the professional and collegiate levels gives her a unique perspective. She knows how to develop young players like Clark while navigating the high-pressure environment of the WNBA. Her time at Vanderbilt also sharpened her ability to recruit and cultivate talent, a skill set that would be invaluable in maximizing Clark's potential. Perhaps most importantly, White knows how to win when it counts. Her leadership during the Fever's 2015 finals run shows she can elevate a team in high-stakes situations. For Clark, having a coach like White, who knows Indiana basketball inside and out and has already tasted success with the Fever, could be the perfect pairing to foster her growth into one of the league's elite players. White might have joined the list of WNBA head coaches let go, but hey, when one door closes, another opens. The Fever could find themselves with a golden opportunity to bring her back. We could throw names like Jenny Boucek and Kurt Miller, not related to Cheryl and Reggie Miller, in the hat, but there's not much point. Personally, I'm not eager to hire a man. I'll consider a man for the role when the NBA hires a woman head coach. Until then, let's leave coaching to women who've played the game, not men who've merely watched from the sidelines. Boucek is an interesting contender. She's already connected to Indiana basketball via the Pacers. Still, how likely is the WNBA to nab her from the NBA? Boucek's current salary with the Pacers is estimated at $2 million. Sides only made about $500,000 per year. I doubt we'll see Boucek forfeit $1.5 million for a more high-profile job and fewer resources. If there's one name fans shouldn't want tied to the Fever's coaching search, it's Lisa Blutter. Clark deserves a coach who will push her to grow, and growth comes from discomfort. Blutter was an excellent coach at Iowa, but Clark needs to be challenged in new ways. Besides, Clark's already a lightning rod for attention. Do we really want the media to LeBron James her? LeBron, the second greatest men's basketball player, yes, after Michael Jordan, and yes, that's my Chicago loyalty showing, has earned the right to pull a few strings regarding hiring after 22 seasons. Clark? Not yet. If we want her to be the next Larry Bird, the Fever need to bring in someone who understands Indiana basketball inside and out. More than ever, the WNBA is positioning itself to become a major player in American sports. The league's growing popularity calls for bold moves and high-profile hires. If the Fever can bring in someone like Cheryl Miller or Stephanie White, someone who would get fans talking, why settle for less? Plus, it doesn't get more Indiana basketball than Miller and White.